The chores and hard work we hated as kids made us who we are today. That is very true. Welcome back to the show. I'm Akorn, and today is Friday, which means it's time for Gen X and Millennial Memes, where we remember all the things we didn't even know we forgot about. We have some good memes and memories today. But first, here is today's pop quiz. Before they ended up choosing the DeLorean, what was the original choice for the time machine in Back to the Future? If you think you know, drop it down in the comments. Then stay tuned as we'll give the answer later on in the show. In the 70s, I grew up in a house where we wheeled the dishwasher and hooked it up to the faucet. I'd love to have one of these right now, actually. I certainly don't have the room for a permanent installation. However, if I could store it somewhere and only pull it out when needed, that would probably work. We left our doors unlocked, waved to strangers, and believed that the world was good. Yeah, how times have changed, and certainly not for the better. The Wonder Years premiered 37 years ago, depicting events 20 years earlier in 1968. A similar show today would be set in 2005. That's just kind of messed up. The most Gen X thing ever. Yeah, once again, even the news forgets about Gen X. And the thing that really gets me on this is they're even listing the years, and they still don't notice. As we've had in past shows, this certainly isn't the first time that even the news has forgotten Gen X. Okay, hear me out. An old-fashioned candy necklace, but with Tums and ibuprofen. I guess that works for easy access, and as long as you're wearing it, you always have some with you. Now they just need one for all of our prescription meds. The first CD player, the Sony CDP-101, was released in the US in 1983 at the tune of around $750. The first music album on CD was Billy Joel's 52nd Street. They say the real ones know about the struggle meal. This isn't a struggle meal. This is a childhood delicacy. Yeah, you got cinnamon, sugar, and butter, and if you wanted to, you could throw in some eggs and maybe another ingredient or two and make French toast. In the 80s, places like this rocked. Yeah, figuratively, and sometimes literally too. Remember us? If you remember, drop it in the comments. If you grew up flipping rocks over looking for bait, you had a great childhood. Yeah, catching minnows, crawfish, tadpoles, frogs, and anything else that you happen to come across, including snakes sometimes. How many of you guys went out at night with a flashlight, usually covered with a piece of cloth or something to kind of dim it down just a little more, and go out hunting for night crawlers at night? You had to be really quiet and really slow, and you couldn't let the light stay on them too long. Otherwise, they'd sense the light and shoot straight back down their hole in the ground. We'd catch them by the handfuls when I was a kid. After swimming, this used to hit so hard back in the day. You just need to put the chips on the sandwich though, and you could have some more on the side too. I am at the age where I finally understand why anyone would be happy to win a new appliance package on The Price is Right. Yeah, even more so these days. Cost $1,800 for a refrigerator or something, and the thing probably lasts 2 or 3 years. These phones may have been limited by today's standards, but you never had to recharge the battery, they worked during power outages, and you never lost them. Be the reason that HR updates their training. I think that Gen X could be responsible for a lot of that. Another great actor who wasted his life on substances and alcohol. What happened to R2-D2? He looked a whole lot better in last week's episode, which, by the way, a lot of people didn't watch. So please, if you haven't seen last week's episode, then watch it next. Wrong answers only. What's this car part? This was the original block heater. When you get in the car on a cold morning, you'd push it in, and when it would get warmed up, it'd pop out. Then you could turn the key in ignition and start your car.
Good job!
Greatest building painters ever. That is pretty darn good job. One of the best 80s films ever made. We didn't know it back then, but your teacher was definitely hungover when this thing rolled into class. When I was a kid, I downloaded songs on this from the radio. I guess that is technically true. Sort of, at least. We recorded it from the radio. It's a lot faster to download a song, though. Back in the day, this was real childhood. Yes, it was. You will touch the hearts of many. Our adventure started with
"Don't tell Mom,"
and ended with
"Run."
Let's confuse this current generation. Yeah, they may not use this anymore, but a whole lot of kids need to.
Life must have been so boring without cell phones.
Nah, we managed. If you know, drop it down in the comments. In the 80s, even our spaceships had carpet and wood paneling. They put wood paneling on everything back then. '70s and '80s social media kit. Yeah, pretty much all you needed back then. No matter how far I go in life, I'll never be too good for some poverty nachos. Poverty nachos. Now that's a term I haven't heard before. Melting cheese on some tortilla chips was just a good snack. I just booked this sweet secluded cabin in the Tennessee mountains. If you guys were offered this cabin for free, would you take it? When grocery prices are going up, but it's okay because I grew up eating this. I especially like the alphabet soup down there. Who has some food stamps? That's just kind of funny. Manual machinist, CNC machinist. They're not wrong. Kids getting thrown off right and left, total carnage, wails of anguish. Not one adult gave a single shit about it. Sure, but did we want them to? No, we didn't want to stop. We could have stopped any time. It was too much fun, though. Today's pop quiz question was, Before they ended up choosing the DeLorean, what was the original choice for the time machine in Back to the Future? The answer is a refrigerator. And Back to the Future originally planned to use a refrigerator as the time machine, but switched to the DeLorean to keep kids from getting locked in the fridge. Problems that were overblown. Quicksand. People offering me free substances. Getting lost in the Bermuda Triangle. Problems I was not sufficiently warned about. Arguing with robots about unexpected items in bagging areas. Remembering all of my passwords. Existential dread. We could expand on this list quite a bit, but these are true. As a kid, I lived in a house that only had one bathroom, a phone connected to the wall with a cord, a TV that had 4 channels and an antenna, and no internet. That's all true, but we also had a lot better life back then. You may be old, but are you this old? Yeah, not many people would know what this is these days. How many of you all used these when you were in school? Clint Eastwood turns 95 years old. When I was a kid, there was 2 ways to unalive. Natural causes and talking back to your parents. Yeah, that was potentially true, and at the very least, I guarantee you wouldn't forget it anytime soon. Back in my day, we had to go to Channel 3 to play video games, and we liked it. Yes, we did. The most stolen object of all time. I don't know. I think it'd be in a pretty tight race for the Bic pen, too. There was a time, not so long ago, when mean machines like this were regularly seen prowling the streets of Anytown, USA. With the cost of car parts, things like this has been priced far out of most people's range, even if they rebuilt it themselves. Careful, mother. Tests on over 1,100 brands of toilet paper show that 89% of them contain splinters, tiny irritating particles of ground wood. Protect your family, particularly your children. Insist always on Northern tissue. Absolutely guaranteed 100% free from splinters. My only question is, if this advertisement has to do with toilet paper, then why does the kid look like he's got a splinter in his toe? Weekend at Ernie's. Poor old Ernie. The Muppet Show predicted what most women would look like in 2025. Pretty close, actually. Those were the best weekends. Looks like somebody stole Pizza Hut's glass, too. You might be old if 1 point for everything you've done. There is 24 points possible, and out of that, I got 23, because the only one of these I'd never done was written a check. I don't know anyone over there, so why would I write them? How many points did you guys get? Drop it down in the comments. Way before social media, this is how we knew where everybody was. If you know, you know. I am Gen X. I was raised with a parent that said, if they swing first, you finish it. Absolutely right. And that's the way it should be. These ladies in the supermarket thought I was crazy because I yelled to them, "Thank you for being a friend." The real ones know what's up. Yep, cornflakes and bananas. This is my favorite type of cereal. And when I eat cereal these days, this right here is exactly what I'm gonna eat. If you used one of these back in the day, chances are you're immune to everything. I saw a video not long ago about where they done a study, and they say that the hand dryers only remove about 25% of germs and bacteria on your hands, whereas a towel was removing more than 75% of it. I thought that was pretty interesting. The technology that impresses kids today. The technology that impressed me as a kid. That is true. Unlike y'all, I only get my news from reliable sources. Hey, it'd still be better than most mainstream media. And I'll end today's show with this. Inside every older person is a younger person wondering what the heck happened. This is very, very true. This life certainly has a way of making you question things. I want to thank all of you who watched this video to the end, as it really helps to support the channel. If you want this series to continue, then please share these videos with your family, friends, and social media. Also consider hitting that like button, and if you haven't already, smash subscribe and click that bell and set it to receive all notifications so you'll never forget another episode. I want to thank our YouTube channel members for your support, because this program is only made possible by viewers like you. I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this weekend. This is Akorn, over and out.